And what Salford did over these 2 games shows the confidence they've got in the squad they've built. Is they rotated a bit, but in this game, that like those players that you pick out, but also Hassan made his debut, and they're adding to their side. They're bringing people back in experienced, Grubby, not that incredible names like Haraki back into the squad, but they're picking up more people. They've brought in Hassan. People like Flanagan are coming back from injury. They're able to rotate a bit. Young Chris Brining off the bench has been... Do you know what? People talk about Parcell all you want. Chris Brining's been absolutely brilliant coming in off the bench for Salford in the same position, playing at 9, new signing. Certainly less was expected of him, and he's done a cracking job.
He has done a very good job. He has indeed. And the 2 hookers at Salford as well. When Logan Tompkins has been on the field, I feel he's had a maturing year this year and has been a bit more of a level head for them, and has developed as a player over the last year compared to where he was this time last term, for example. And
they use Salford. They use the power as a sort of threat off the back of a real coherent triangle of playmakers that comes off the back of the ruck when Logan Tompkins is on the pitch. When Brining's on the pitch, it's a little bit of a different dynamic because he is more set to scoot and he's scoring himself plenty of tries for himself. But they've got everything working there, and like we were saying about being able to rotate and still fire so well, we'll talk about that in only a couple of games' time. And, there we go. So, statistics then. It was a big night for everyone at Salford, but what did they tell us about the game? Well, they owned the stats line on the game, the Red Devils. 684 metres more at 1.6 metres per carry better average gain for 12 clean breaks to 5, 9 tries to 2, all complemented by a 3.8% better team tackle success, and again managing single figures in errors. Catalan below 1,000 metres, below 90% team tackle success shows that they were very poor all over.
There you go. So individually, who stood out for us?
Well, convicted spousal abuser Robert Louis, 1 try, 2 try assists, 152 metres. You can't question what he's doing on the field.
No, like him on the field.
I really hope that he is disqualified from any Man of Steel conversations, because I don't want...
Do you know what? I don't think he will be.
No.
But, there you go.
Niall Levels with a try, 128 metres. Josh Jones with a try assist, 103 metres. Chris Wellen with a try, 261 metres, 3 clean breaks. That earned him a rest. And Gareth O'Brien a try and 2 try assists.
Anybody do anything of note for Catalan?
Well, Fuad Jaha scored himself one of their tries, 151 metres as well from the big winger. Mikel Simon worked really hard in his stints on the pitch, 157 metres for him. There was obviously some youth was around this Catalan side, which has been a theme of late, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I think he's going to look to continue with the interim coaching setup, isn't it? So the final game of round 15 then saw Wakefield winning pretty tough, 28 points to 26 over the Huddersfield Giants mark in front of 4,642.
Yeah, and really, we need more people getting down to Bellevue. This is
the best season they've had in donkeys.
Just as much as we're talking about Salford, I actually think this attendance has pushed their average home attendance up above Wakefield's as it stands.
Well, yeah, true.
So both grounds need to be filled up a bit more, please, folk out there. Yeah, Wakey White said, fair play Hoods. After seeing them at Magic, I thought we'd be able to have the queue on the rack by 60 minutes. As it was, we had to wrestle the queue off them and insert it into their backside. Great spirit by Wakey to overcome a bullish Giants outfit. Williams and Fafita doing the business for Trin. Maymo had a great game for Huddersfield, and Hubie is a beast up the Trin.
And Brian Davies got in touch with us as well. It's a great start by Trin to score early, but then we gave away a series of penalties that enabled Giants to get an 18 points to 6 lead. The first switch of forwards helped bring the right attitude, and Wakey gradually fought their way back in. Fortunately, the starting props had a better second stint, and Wakey snatched a win at the death, with Sam Williams kicking from the touchline under the pressure for a win we didn't really deserve. And he did talk about this on Saturday morning with us, didn't he, as well, Bri? But it's that story we talked about. Castle.
Well, we had a couple of Giants fans with us as well, didn't we? More Giants fans from a distance in Al and Dave. And I think Gav is kind of vicariously a Huddersfield fan through Al as well.
Yeah. But, Wakefield's good to see. Look, they're another side that are going under the radar because of the Castleford effect, and Wakefield have quietly assembled, like you alluded to earlier, an aggressive, powerful pack and they've got some effective outside backs, and they're getting games won.
Yeah, and, they're doing it in different ways, and this is obviously a tough game where they've had to come back from behind. They were a couple of points down at half-time, but they were even more down in the pattern of things to have to come back. And one of the turning points, I don't know if it was like this, but from the brief highlights I saw, was the try where Mamo didn't let it go, didn't put the ball out, which seems like a theme, because when you think about it, there was the whole weekend, including the Bash fixtures, but think back to Thursday night's game, and there was a mistake by young Swift not getting the ball cleared out, and then in this one there was one where Mamo just let it run, and the Wakefield player jumped around him, batted it back in the field of play for a try to be scored, and it seemed like that maybe was a catalyst for Wakefield to finish them off.
Yeah, and finish them off they did, and it keeps them up in that top 4 spot as well.
Well, they were fifth at this point.
But
it keeps the momentum going. Yeah,
absolutely. So what did the stats tell us then?
The stats that stand out is 8 breaks to 4 in Trinity's favour. Elsewhere, a level error count and a very similar metres number that the Giants just helped this to be close, with 2 more penalties conceded by Trin and 1.2% better tackle success for Huddersfield, somewhat cancelling out Wakefield's ability to make more of their chances.
Fantastic. So, individually for Wakefield then, who stood out?
Ben Jones-Bishop, 2 tries, 2 clean breaks. Reece Lynn, 2 tries and a try assist. That edge has been working really well for them up to that point. Joe Arundel, 172 metres. Mason Caton Brown, 184 metres. So it seems like the left edge is doing all the tough work.
All the golden edges.
And the right edge is being the glory boys, isn't it? David Fafita, 6 tackle busts, 135 metres. Keeps going. I mean, obviously he was signed last year, but talk of...
Really, he's a signing for this year, though, isn't he? In terms of getting his fitness up and his mentality improving a little bit as well. I would say.
A Man of Steel conversation, I think he'd have to be in it.
Definitely.
If people like Millington and Moores and people like that, Cass are in it. He's in it.
He's in there with them, isn't he? Yeah. So for St Helens, for Huddersfield, who stood out?
Jerry McGilvray, 1 try, 206 metres. He always does that, doesn't he? Jake Mamo, 1 try assist, 5 tackle busts, 102 metres, 2 clean breaks. So obviously might have made a poor judgment error, but did a lot as well positively. Leroy Cudjoe, 120 metres. Sebastian Ikahifo, 7 tackle busts, 138 metres, 4 successful offloads. He's such a powerful, impactful player. Actually, on the positive to negative play differential, he leads the way.
Right.
In terms of, so if you add up your clean breaks, your tackle busts, and your successful offloads versus your missed tackles, your errors and your penalties, he leads the way of the biggest difference between the two in Super League so far this year. And then Ryan Hinchcliffe, 41 tackles.
Fantastic. Okay, that is round 15 of Super League taken care of. Let's take a look back now, only to yesterday, to round 16 of Super League. So to round 16 then, bank holiday, Monday, and almost full complement of fixtures, save for the postponed Huddersfield St Helens game. So we'll start with Warrington 12, Salford 38, Mark. Great result, and a strong performance from Junior Sow, who I could watch play rugby league all day for 10 years, in front of...
I don't know.
Not many.
The crowd wasn't
announced.
I couldn't find it anywhere.
Sorry, Bernard.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Research.
Just on this one though, who got in touch with us?
Lee Whitnell. Fucking garbage, wank. We are weak, leaderless, and totally without creative spark. We deserve to be in the middle 8, and that is exactly where I expect we'll be. I hope we're scouring the NRL for a halfback to dig us out of the shit, or we're in a lot of trouble. Further to my previous review, if the cast left is the golden edge, or right is the golden shower edge. Fucking shy.
Powerful and passionate stuff from Lee Whitnell. But we'll give the last word to Wire Joe and hop on his emotional roller coaster with him as it bottoms out. Salford played well and absolutely ripped us apart down our right side, but there were awful performances across the park, with the convicted spousal abuser and Junior Sow having a field day against our lacklustre defence. I'd never call for the head of a coach, but how Tony Smith seems so bulletproof is beyond me. Big changes needed.
Well, Smith was only bulletproof as far as a Facebook hack supposedly occurred. But
forced to go and confirm that he hadn't offered to resign.
We'll see where that goes.
Well, I think I think the fans are starting to get a bit tired now, because it's not like Warrington are a significantly weakened outfit from the side that got to the grand final and
the Challenge Cup final and the League Leaders Shield.
Exactly. So something has changed there, and I can't put my finger on it. So again, I'm not one to call for a coach's head, and what Tony Smith has achieved in the game is phenomenal. But I think there does need to be a bit of a clear out and a bit of a change around, because the attitude of some of Warrington's players in terms of, and I talked about an appetite for defence and an appetite for hard work early in sets, simply doesn't exist. And from what I've seen of this game, the bits and pieces of the packages that I've watched, I see an ineffective forward pack in terms of them making tremendous amounts of metres, asterisk Chris Hill, and then just this paucity of execution when it comes to them ending sets in attacking positions. They just don't create enough for themselves to score points. And when you come up against a side like Salford, who, entirely contrary to that, were running some very complex structures, particularly down their right side, and in fact down their left as well, to be honest, with some of the tries. But they've got this ability to run these structures and run these banks of players and then be off the cuff from within that, because they back each other and because they're playing on confidence. And they actually produced some lovely tries in this one, and I think those two things combined, and Warrington were always going to be in for a bit of a kicking, really.
I don't necessarily think a clear out is needed. I don't know who they've got who actually would be better at pulling them over that line to win in a grand final.
I don't mean a massive turnaround, but there needs to be some freshening up, I think.
I don't know. It didn't help them that they didn't have their half-back situation settled, probably, and then there was talk of some sort of unrest with the attitude of young Deck Patton, who everyone else thought, why is he not playing? And so, scratching that together gave them a bad start to the season, poor form, and it just carried on, and, you know... small number of injuries, but to big important players, can really then knock a side who's already suffering from not having a settled creative sort of axis in place. And the thing for me with this Warrington side is they rely on playing down the middle so much to do their exit work, and I'm talking not just about giving Chris Hill 20 carries a game. I'm talking about the amount of times people like Russell, Ratchford, Atkins run from dummy half themselves as well. Narrows the game up.
Not to mention what the hookers are doing, and doing almost exactly the same thing.
Well, exactly. And, you know, they make more metres per carry than most people in the league. Darryl Clark is still top of metres per carry stats in the whole league. And he has been for 5 years, do you know what I mean? And it is something that they do well, but it's preventing them from having maybe some sort of organised set moves that they're confident in off the back end. So somewhere along that passing line, either a mistake's being made or someone's not putting in the right position, getting themselves in the right position to confuse the opposition defence enough, maybe. But really, they came up against a better side, a side that are playing really well, a side that were able to call on people who were a little bit fresher, either having a game off or had only just started playing for the season recently or had a big injury spell, so maybe had a little bit more, now that they're 2 or 3 games back in, a little bit more of an energy boost, but not like the long hard season slog behind them. And all of that came together for Salford, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Not to linger too long on Warrington's troubles, but when is Ben Curry back?
August, maybe.
I'm not saying one swallow makes a summer, but
not before. I think the start of the Super 8s is the best timescale you can expect.
There you go. And again, like I say, not that one swallow makes a summer for him, but he has been a big miss for them this year, without a doubt. So what did the stats tell us on this one then?
The stats are very close in a number of key areas. That suggests this wasn't as one-sided as the scoreline. Very close in metre numbers. Only 1 more clean break for Salford, and actually 2 more penalties conceded by them in a low 3-5 penalty count.
Bravo.
Warrington's 2.1% better team tackle success, although they're doing that every